Throughout history, humanity has always been obsessed with trying to understand the invisible forces that shape our lives. Today, we're going to step away from the relentless noise of the modern world for a bit. We're diving into a piece of truly timeless wisdom, taking a deep look at the profound concepts of luck, true abundance, and the silent, almost mysterious workings of fate. In this explainer, we're going to figure out why some folks just seem destined to win all the time, while others feel totally adrift in the dark. We're unpacking these ancient, grounding truths together.
Think about that one person you know. You know the type, right? It's like a facade we see all the time. The individual who, no matter where they go, literally seems to have the whole world bending to their will. One door closes, and boom, another one magically opens. If they fall, they miraculously land right on their feet. They constantly cross paths with the perfect people at the exact right second, and looking from the outside, we all just shake our heads and say the exact same thing. Wow, what a lucky person. We see this glowing, flawless track record of success, and we instantly assume they've got some sort of mystical advantage that the rest of us are just missing out on. But that brings us to a really foundational question, a question that completely shatters that whole illusion. Does luck actually exist, or is it something else entirely? We are so conditioned, so hardwired to look at the shiny finished product of someone's life that we completely ignore the unseen realities that actually forged it. So today, we're pulling back the curtain. We're going to redefine what this word luck actually means.
Section 1, Behind the Curtain, the unseen battles behind every visible success. We really need to strip away those intense modern societal pressures to get down to some ancient, grounding truths. To really grasp this, we have to recognize how society conditions us to only look at the visible stuff, the end results, the open doors, what we just casually label as luck. But beneath the surface, that's where the invisible happens. Nobody sees the whispered prayers late at night. Nobody is around to witness the silent struggles, the tears, or those incredibly lonely battles fought just to rebuild shattered hopes. People only applaud the glowing light at the end of the tunnel, right? They are completely blind to the agonizing darkness, the sheer grit that the person had to walk through to actually reach it.
Let's move to Section 2, the meaning of true abundance. We're redefining wealth far beyond our modern illusions. Because, society falsely equates abundance with big houses, expensive cars, and massive salaries.
And this misperception doesn't just warp our idea of luck, it completely distorts our understanding of wealth itself. True abundance is profoundly different. It's really just the ability to be completely content with what you have. It's about finding peace in the little things. Think about it. A millionaire might have endless cash, but they could be totally tormented by their own inner voices, feeling completely isolated even in a crowded room. On the flip side, a family living in a super modest home might have very little financially, but they share a table that is absolutely overflowing with genuine love, sincerity, and this profound, unshakable inner peace. Because here's the absolute truth. If a person's soul is starving, all the wealth in the world isn't enough to make them happy. It's wild. We see people running this frantic marathon for years, just constantly chasing money, status, the next big promotion. But they rarely stop and ask themselves, wait, what am I actually running toward? And the tragedy is, by the time they cross that finish line, they've realized way too late that the only thing they were ever really searching for was peace. That is the great tragedy of the human experience, isn't it? We usually only recognize the immense value of what we have right after we lose it. This ancient wisdom really distills down to 3 powerful truths. First, true wealth isn't currency, it's peace. Second, true abundance isn't a massive estate, it's the time you spend with the people you love. And third, true luck isn't hitting the jackpot. It's simply drawing another breath. When we're healthy, we completely ignore our health. When our family is around, we squander the time. Sometimes, it literally takes life showing us its painful brevity for these grounding realities to finally hit home. Moving into Section 3, the unseen face of luck. We're looking at the exact intersection of unseen preparation and opportunity, and dismantling the whole myth of a magical advantage. Let's break down the timeline of the so-called overnight success. Because it never starts overnight. It begins with years, literally years, of working quietly in the dark, refining a craft when absolutely no one is watching. Then come the failures. Countless moments of getting knocked down, face in the dirt, but refusing to surrender. And then finally, one day, a golden opportunity pops up. Instantly, the whole world sees that one single moment and goes, wow, they are so lucky. But luck isn't magic. No way. It's just the precise moment when relentless, unseen preparation finally crashes into an opportunity. Basically, luck knocks on the doors of those who have already spent years building the house to receive it. To really lock this idea in, think about a giant, beautiful tree. Society is basically like a crowd standing around admiring it. We're all applauding the vibrant fruit, the visible success, the money, the awards. But we completely ignore the roots. We just forget about the lonely, grueling years that tree spent anchoring itself deep underground, violently fighting its way through dense, dark soil, just to build a foundation strong enough to eventually bear that fruit. Section 4. The power of the seed in the dark. Finding growth in absolute darkness. Let's talk about the hardest moments of the human experience. Think about those brutal times when life just forces you to wait, severely testing your patience and resilience. It's exactly like the journey of a seed. First, it gets buried under tons of heavy, dark soil. It's totally deprived of light. Honestly, it probably feels like it's been buried alive. But in reality, it is entering its absolute most crucial phase, taking root. This terrifying darkness is absolutely necessary for it to get strong. It's only because it endures that heavy dark that it can finally pierce through the earth and hit the sunlight. So those times when you feel the most abandoned, the most buried by life, those are often the exact moments you are being forced to grow your strongest roots. Surviving that darkness, though, requires some serious mental fortitude. There's a saying that a person first loses in their mind. Long before a battle is lost out in the real world, the internal war has already been forfeited. And man, modern society sets such a dangerous trap for us here. We constantly compare our messy, behind-the-scenes struggles to everyone else's highly curated highlight reels on social media. But listen, nature doesn't work on a single universal schedule. Some flowers bloom in early spring, others don't pop up until deep in the winter. Everyone has their own timeline. You cannot let your mind convince you that your season of delay is some sort of permanent defeat. Which brings us to our final act. Section 5, the silent language of fate, understanding life's invisible protections and delays. This is really the climax of this whole philosophy, connecting our deepest personal struggles and those totally unanswered prayers to a much grander, protective design. Often, life is working silently in our favor, even when it feels exactly like a punishment. Those frustrating delays, they're actually protection from burdens you aren't quite ready to carry yet. The devastating losses that completely shatter our hearts are often liberations from situations that would eventually destroy us. And those painful, firmly closed doors, they are forcefully steering us away from the wrong paths. Hitting rock bottom, when it feels like the absolute end of the road, is usually the exact turning point that launches your true beginning. Goodness and pure intentions always find their way back to you. If not today, then eventually. Ultimately, all of this timeless wisdom boils down to one defining truth. Real success is being able to rise up without losing yourself in the process. Gaining the whole world, getting all the visible luck and material abundance, it means absolutely nothing. Zero, if you lose your soul and your pure heart along the way. At the end of it all, the only thing that truly stays with you is a clean conscience and that unwavering peace within your spirit. So, I want to leave you with a lingering thought to carry with you after this explainer. It's a bit provocative, but important. While you're out there frantically chasing life, are you leaving your soul behind? Take a second to really reflect on your own journey. Think about how you define your inner peace and the true meaning of whatever struggles you're facing right now. Just remember, true abundance is found wherever the heart finds peace. And true luck, it walks right beside those who, even after falling deep into the dark, always find a way to stand back up and reach for the sun.